On my way to Afghanistan this last trip, I stopped in a computer lab along the way to pass some time. While I was in there, a pop-up came while I was on the computer. It was an Amazon.com website. And I thought, well, hey, I need to buy something off Amazon anyway, so I went ahead with my purchase. A couple weeks passed, and I didn't receive any merchandise. So I got suspicious, and I checked my bank account to notice that there was $500 missing out of my account. I had been a victim of an unfortunate crime on the internet known as phishing, and I'm here today to make sure that doesn't happen to you. While the internet is a great tool for modern society, it is important that we know what phishing is and how it can affect us, ways to prevent from becoming a victim of phishing, and what to do if you do become an unfortunate victim of phishing. Since phishing is a relatively new technique of stealing, it is important that we first understand exactly what it is and how it can affect us. So let's take a look at that first. Phishing is defined as a fraudulent practice of gaining personal information in a fictitious manner. It may look anything like a web pay bill site or one of those pop-ups that you get. It's like, hey, click here to claim your $10,000 instantly. And it could also could look like those late night instant messages that you get, guys you sometimes get from those girls. It's like, hey guys, I want to chat, it's late, and as soon as you respond back, they've got all your personal information that you have saved on your computer. Typically, like I said, it's instant messaging or email, but they have also been known to target other areas of lack security, such as social media sites or anything of that nature. Attempts have been made to limit the amount of effective phishing that takes place on the internet, and those range anywhere from laws that have been put into effect to higher security on each of these websites. Congress passed a law in 2004 called the Anti-Phishing Law, which at that time made phishing a federal crime. Anyone convicting and found guilty of phishing may face a $250,000 penalty, up to 10 years imprisonment, or both. Now that you're aware of phishing, let's take a look at some preventative measures to make sure that you do not fall victim to phishing. Phishing is a modern day way of stealing, so internet websites that we use are catching on to this. So they offer a transparent type of protection for us, which pretty much detects and defers any attempts at phishing. Now, not all websites have this. Your cheaper backdoor websites aren't going to have it, but your bigger search engines or eBays or things like that, they notice when this phishing happens, and they detect and defer it, which is completely transparent to the user. If you look on any major search engine, such as Gmail or Yahoo or Bing, and you type in the 8 ways to prevent phishing, it'll come up and show you there's 8 solid steps to take to prevent from phishing. And like I said, any major search engine can bring that up. According to critics, Internet Explorer and Netcraft Toolbar were the most effective at providing you that naturally detect and defer method that I was talking about earlier, according to critics in 2012. Another effective way to prevent from becoming a victim of phishing is know the site that you are taking your computer. In other words, know what you're clicking on. For instance, somebody doesn't just come up to your front door and ring your doorbell, and you open up the door and let them in, and then you verify who they are. You first might check through the peephole, and then you open the door, and you're like, hey, oh, okay, you are who I think you are, come in. Well, it's the same concept on the internet. As somebody says, hey, this is who I am, first you want to verify. Once you have verified who that person is and they are who they say they are, then let them in. For instance, take a look at what happened to me on Amazon, like I talked about at the beginning. It popped up, I thought it was Amazon, I was lax in my personal security measures, didn't check, and I fell victim to phishing. Even though you are now familiar with phishing and ways to prevent phishing from happening to you, anything is still possible. That is why it's important now for us to look at what to do if you do fall victim to phishing. The first thing you should do is notify your bank immediately. Since most banks are federally insured by the FDIC, you'll more than likely get your money back after they have investigated the case and resolved the issue. After you notify the bank, USAA suggests in an article in their winter 2012 catalog, USAA Magazine, an article titled Shop Smart on the Internet, that you should freeze your bank account for a couple of days to prevent from taking any further losses. And the number one thing that you can do is learn from your mistakes. Just like everything else, it's a life lesson. If you fall victim to it, learn from your mistakes and don't let it happen again. Make mental, physical notes and remember where you were exactly on the internet when those things took place that made you fall victim to phishing. Now that you know the proper steps to take if you become the unfortunate victim of phishing, let's recap. In summary, today I discussed what phishing is and how it can affect each and every one of us. Also, how to elude becoming defenseless against this act. And finally, we talked about what to do if you do become an unfortunate victim of phishing. Now that you are aware of one of the harshest threats out there on the World Wide Web, get out there and use it to the best of your advantage. Because hey, that's what it's there for. For you now know what to be cautious of.